Oof, all right. Tottenham. Let's talk about Spurs, huh?
Yeah.
Rough season last year, as usual. Or I should say, rough decade plus. Feels like ages since they've lifted a trophy. 2000 and what was it, 8?
2008, yeah.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
But, there's a new gaffer at the helm.
New gaffer, new hope, right?
Exactly, new hope. Ange Postecoglou. And we've got some really interesting sound bites here from midfielder James Maddison, who is really seemingly buying into Postecoglou's vision for this club.
Yeah, I think buy-in is the perfect word there. Because he's not just saying the right things, he's playing like he believes it too.
And I think that's really key. So we're going to deep dive today into those comments from Maddison. We want to look at what he said about Postecoglou's philosophy, his words, and what it could mean for this Tottenham team that, frankly, is just desperate for some success, right?
Absolutely desperate. I mean, every Spurs fan's got that 2008 League Cup win memorized at this point. That's a long, long trophy drought.
It really is. So let's jump right in. Madison had this to say about the new manager. He said...
Well, let me ask you this. Before you even read the quote, do you, are you surprised at all by how quickly he's dot in? Because it does seem like he's just kind of really grasped onto this immediately.
I think it speaks to something that's really important for managers, right? Man management. And if he's able to get buy-in from players, especially players like Maddison, who are, let's be honest, kind of like the heartbeat of this team in a lot of ways, that says a lot, right?
Totally. And to bring in that quote, he said, "That's the only way we are going to get success if you put your full 100% trust in him and his philosophy and his way." I mean, that is buy-in.
That's full buy-in. That's putting all your eggs in the Postecoglou basket. So
Drinking the Kool-Aid, the whole bit.
absolutely. So let's unpack this a little bit. What does it actually look like on the pitch, this philosophy in action?
Well, I think, just from watching him, even just these first few games, you can tell it's a very high-energy, high-pressing system.
Yeah.
And he wants the midfielders, especially guys like Maddison, to be involved in both sides of the game.
Yeah.
So winning the ball back, sure, but then also being creative, making runs, trying things in the final third.
And you can tell that's something that Maddison really responds to. He says, you have to be fit to play for him. He's really emphasized that physicality, that high energy style. But it's not just mindless running. I think sometimes people think pressing. They think, oh, it's just
Yeah, just chasing the ball around like a madman.
Exactly. But he said he wants you pressing and then back on the second balls, making runs and being creative. So it is a much more nuanced system than I think maybe some people would initially assume.
It definitely is. And I think that's, frankly, what makes it so exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Because it's not just boot it up the pitch and hope for the best, right?
Right. Exactly.
There's a real plan. There's a method to the madness.
And it seems like it's starting to pay off, at least in the early going. 4 wins in a row. That does wonders for a team's confidence.
No, absolutely. It's that old cliche, winning breeds confidence. And,
yeah.
Maddison kind of touched on that. He said, it's nice to have a bit of momentum that normally breeds confidence within the squad.
And momentum is so huge, especially in football where, 1 minute you're flying, the next minute you're,
crashing back down to earth, yeah. And especially with the new manager, right? Because, when a manager's been there for a while and they have a bad run, you kind of know, all right, well, they've been here before, they'll get us out of this. But with a new guy, there's always that little bit of doubt, can he really hack it at this level? So these early wins, they're massive for Postecoglou.
Absolutely. They buy him time. They buy him belief from the players, from the fans, from the board. It's so crucial. But, at the end of the day, Tottenham fans, they want trophies, right?
Trophies are the currency of success in football, no doubt about it.
Exactly. So the question is, can Postecoglou really deliver? I mean, it's still early days, but is there enough here to suggest that this could be, a really special era for Tottenham? Or is it too early to say? What do you think?
I mean, it's definitely too early to say for sure. But I will say this. There's a different energy around the club right now. And I think Maddison summed it up perfectly. He said, it's about sticking on board the train, and hopefully it can take us to the destination we want. That, to me, says it all. They believe they're on the right track.
And I think for Spurs fans, that's all you can really ask for at this point, right? Belief, hope.
Absolutely. They've waited long enough for it.
They really have. Well, one thing's for sure. It's going to be a fascinating ride this season. We'll be watching closely to see if this Postecoglou train can really pick up steam.
I'm on board. Let's see where it goes.
All right. We're going to be back next week with another deep dive, breaking down all the biggest stories in the Premier League.
See you then.